Zach, the best post-game show in the world. Cows win, cows win. Take a bow, my good man. How you doing, Zach? How you feeling? We're here for a long time. You know, normally they say, Zach, we're here for a good time, not a long time. We're here for both today. Cowboys win in convincing fashion, 44-22. We're going to break it all down. I got my notes, my actual play notes, my play sheet. But as we let people get in, Zach, just very, very initial, high level. Dallas played football. Where are you at? You can be long-winded. Take your time, bro, because the fans are in here tonight, and I know that it's going to be a great week. I'm in the DMV. I was dancing around my basement. I'm having a good time. I'm not going to, act like, oh, wow, we were supposed to do this. No, there were people out there who didn't believe. You know what I mean? And Dallas went out there and got a big win. So how you feeling high level?
It feels like a weight lifted off of our shoulders because we were saying this pre-show, like the brief time that we talked, this felt like a must win for Dallas. Like if you didn't win this game, you're falling to what? 2-4-1. And it feels like the season's going to really start getting away from Dallas if they fall to, that far behind 500 with the schedule that they have coming up. And I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit too. Like what it means for the rest of the season, but a sigh of relief because how long has it been since we've seen a Cowboys game like this one where the team goes out there and they just really dominate on both sides of the ball? Like it was a little funky there in the first quarter, but for the most part, like Dallas was in control of this game. They didn't really waver when there were mistakes here and there on either side of the ball. The defense did their job when the offense wasn't playing good. Like it was a relief. Now, is that going to carry over into other games this year? What did the Commanders do? What did they do well? It's just to see them go out there and dominate against a team that we talked about it, like for the pregame stuff. We thought Dallas was better than them. It was just, what were you going to do defensively? And I'm sure you're going to talk about this. Dallas did some things defensively that were different. It looked like they were running a lot more man coverage. They were doing some stuff up front. Clowney was getting pressure. Ezraku was getting pressure. And I can't wait for ESPN to say, oh, well, it's because Jaden Daniels. No, they were beating up on Jaden Daniels and the Commanders well before he went out of that game. It was a sack fumble that the game was getting out of hand by the time that he was out with that hamstring. So just a sigh of relief and a really good game by Dallas on both sides of the ball, I would say.
Cows win, Zachy. I wrote down my notes and I went play by play, and to start the game, play 2, big run to Javonte. Actually, hold on, let me make sure that I got the first quarter locked up. Okay, so just looking at how they came out, attacked, and went up 7-0, right? Before the weird safety and everything. I thought that that's what needed to happen, right, Zach? Like, I thought that you couldn't play games. You couldn't fart around with this game. You need to come out. You took the ball, which I think a few times Shoddy this year has deferred. You took the ball and you scored. Like, you went down the field and you scored. And I think that, there were times throughout this game where, okay, you felt like, man, Dallas is leaving something left to be desired, and we'll talk about it. But that first 9-play drive, I thought immediately, right? And then you capped that off with the run to Javonte. I thought he had an exceptional game, and we'll talk about him, Zach. But just the way that you attacked the game, right? And to be honest with you, for your defense to go right out and get a stop. I want to say this, and I told people this all week, Zach, and I think that me and you, I think we were we were the two in the community that were very level-headed when it came to this defense. I did not want to fire Matt Eberflus, who's, first of all, firing coordinators in the year, it's a disaster. Like, I didn't want to do that, and I still don't. And I'm not saying that this is going to be some great defense, right? I'm not saying that, but that must change this early in the season. You have to have some type of stoic, some type of cachet, some type of swag, and just say, you know what? The players have to play better. I thought that Shoddy handled this week particularly. Now, they did some things different, and we'll talk about there. I'll let you handle, the man rates, the amount of blitzing that they did. I saw Bland getting involved in the blitzing, But the biggest thing to me, I'm pounding the table, Zach, they didn't quit. They didn't quit on the coordinator. And I'll say this, bro. Diggs didn't play and the defense looked better. We got to call a spade a spade. I'm tired of sugarcoating things. He didn't play. I'm glad he didn't play. These other guys bought in. They played man. They tackled. Bland had his best game of the year, but they didn't quit, Zach. They didn't quit. So we talk about that first drive and that first stop. I thought if you want to nitpick something that Schottenheimer did, I really didn't like. I didn't like the play call in his own one. That run was, I would have just liked him to raise up and go quick game to George Pickens or quick game to CD. Other than that, man, you couldn't ask for a better start. How did you feel the game? Because think about it too, Zach. People could say what they want now. Oh, they didn't have their receivers. Man, everybody was, oh, this is a Zach Ertz legacy game loading. This is Matt McCaffrey's going to have it. I even said I took Jalen Lane on a few plays. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to be fake with y'all. How did you feel about just the fact that the Cowboys defense didn't quit, Zach?
Yeah, that says something about the defensive coordinator and kind of the guys buying in. And Brian Schottenheimer told us last week, like, guys haven't given up on this. I hope they don't, not believe in the scheme, because that's when things start getting really ugly. And Diggs not being out there might mean something for this team. And, I can't speak for guys in the locker room. I don't know the dynamic and stuff, but you see a guy that's getting paid all that money, not playing well. He's got to be out there. He makes one tackle. He's out of the game. Then has that weird stuff going on. Like, this game felt like the blueprint for what I thought this Dallas team could be. They've just haven't gotten in this situation to where the defense is playing well and the offense is so high powered that it makes these opposing offenses one-dimensional. And we saw today, Dallas was able to rush the passer, get after Jaden Daniels, get after Marcus Mariota. I don't know their exact splits. I'm sure Next Gen Stats and stuff will have all that out in the next couple of hours or tomorrow morning of how much man they were running, but they were doing some different stuff, different things up front. Somebody that I did notice, and I did not think that I would be saying this, Kenneth Murray actually had a good game.
Great.
His run fits were much better. His spy on Jaden Daniels was really good. Like, he just had a much better game than he's had in the past. And someone was like, apologize for the defense not having any hope. I don't really think it's that. Like, if you would say that this defense was going to magically be good based on what we've seen this year, that would be kind of crazy. But to see them get out there, get after Jaden Daniels and the Commanders, it's refreshing. Hopefully we can see it carry over to a Denver team that I don't think is all that high powered on offense. But to see different guys and Clowney and Ezra, who got his first sack of his career, your linebacker, a big stop
too that I wrote down as well.
Yep. It didn't feel like there was many receivers running wide open in this game. Like, there wasn't 4 or 5 yards of separation. Like, Bland had the pick. They were getting up there and able to bat balls down and defend passes. I can't wait to see what the splits look like with man and zone and what they ran in this game, because they did a really, really good job.
Cows win, cows win, cows win, cows win, cows win. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Zach and Foots talking to you guys. We also have been doing work with Fansided. We are here for a good time, and we're here for a long time. We're going to be breaking down the whole thing. Zach, I wouldn't rather do this with anybody but you. You said something. Now that the initial hype is out, we can really break down the game. So let's talk about the actual game plan, because I thought it was good. I thought that I still don't subscribe to the fact that Matt Eberflus is a bad coordinator. I tend to lean towards coaches. I'm a coach. I tend to think that these guys are smart guys and they know what they know. There was a reason why at a point Diggs was benched. There's a reason why certain things have happened. They've benched some of the linebackers. They've done some things. Let's talk about the game plan and how to handle Jaden Daniels. I said on Twitter, I said, the way you lose this game is the hidden yardage. They run the ball, but like literally 30% of that is Jaden Daniels sneaking out the back door, Jaden Daniels on designed runs. What I really thought the Cowboys did a great job of was just saying, like, hey, we're going to go cover 1 on early downs. We're going to go cover 3 on early downs. We're going to choke the run early. Like, there's not going to be this world where you guys are going to be breaking off long runs. And Merritt had a few runs, but overall, Jaquaski Merritt splits weren't much. And I think that's because in that pistol, the Cowboys said, yeah, 2 yards of carry, Jaquaski Merritt, and he had become everybody's darling, right? Bill Merritt. He become everybody's favorite player. Well, the Cowboys went ahead and choked that run. Like they said, nope, you're not getting these. So in turn, what happened is the RPO action, everybody, and I want to actually, let me take this back. We got time, Zach. Everybody who's clamoring for the Commanders didn't have their receivers. I'm here to tell you guys, I don't like Debo is averaging like 50, 60 yards a game receiving. And he's getting all these targets, but it's like screen and quick game. So you're getting to the point, and Terry hasn't been healthy all year. Got paid, hasn't been healthy. Wouldn't you know it? And so you're getting to the point in that Cliff offense. And, me living in the DMV, knowing this stuff very well, it's getting very collegey. It's getting very one-ready. And, you did a great job as a defense of having a plan, taking away two-way goes. When you have a guy who's going to mesh that football and keep, if you have your DNs just flying up field, Zach, those are 10-yard runs. Those are 15-yard runs. I thought they did a great job playing sound defense, staying in lanes, crush rushing. Even when he scampered, Zach, you were on it. Yep. You hate to see Jaden Daniels go out the game, but what did you think about the actual plan? Then we'll talk about the players, Zach.
I thought that it needed to look a lot like what they did against the Jets and Justin Fields. Like there wasn't a whole lot of green grass for Jaden Daniels to get out there and beat you with his legs. Because here, let me go to the point about people saying they didn't beat a good team because the Commanders didn't have their top receivers. Let's get this. They didn't beat the Commanders. They blew them out. This game was over pretty much by the beginning of the third quarter. If they barely scraped by in this game and it was, 24-22 and Dallas barely gets out of there with a win, sure, I'll give it to you. They barely beat this Washington team without their top 3 wide receivers. But they won 44-22. They literally doubled the Commanders' score. And, the defense, the Commanders' defense wasn't missing their top 3 wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, the defense got crushed. But as for the plan, like, it looked a lot better than I think we saw in weeks past as far as confidence. Like I said, like Kenneth Murray did not look like the same player today. Yeah. And they actually had him as the quarterback spy on a number of different plays, something they really didn't do that much in week 1 against Jalen Hurts when he ran all over the place. And I thought, keep Jaden Daniels in the pocket. There wasn't a whole lot of green grass, and that's where you get in trouble with a quarterback like Jaden Daniels, where he can just gash you for 50, 60, 70-yard runs. And then he's hitting his head on the goalpost, from 60 yards out. The defense kept everything contained, everything in front of them. There wasn't any big plays that I remember. Let me look at there were. Chris Moore had that early one for the 44 yards, and then Jalen Lane had one for 35. I can't remember when that was in the game. But for the most part, it wasn't just constantly big play after big play after big play. No. And that makes such a difference. Dude, if teams can't just go 3 plays, 80 yards, 4 plays, 80 yards, you actually have a chance and you make them move the ball down the field, you have a much better chance of stopping them. And I thought they did that.
Zach, who are some of your who are some of your, we got to come up with our own little ism. Maybe we'll call it our winner, loser, our guys. Let's go with our guys. Who are some of our guys from today? I got a guy for you, Zach. You talked about Bland, and I'll let you stay with Bland. For me, one of my guys today was Donovan Ezaraku. It's starting to look like he's getting his sea legs. And with rushers, I remember Micah's rookie year. Kind of took, and not comparing to Micah, it kind of took him a little bit to get the speed of the game. I was really impressed with how he looked. And I got a few others, but who was some of your guys today? And you could throw Clowney in there as well. Who were some of your guys today, Zach?
I'm actually going to go on the offensive side of the ball. And this is I'm not going to go, this feels like an easy one, but I'm not going to go a game without talking about Dak, because Dak has just been phenomenal. And he had some pressure today. Like, the Commanders D-line is good. They got some players up there, 21 for 30, 264. He almost 200, or right at 200 at halftime, 3 touchdowns, didn't throw any picks. Like, his passer rating was way, way up there. Thought he was phenomenal today. And then you can't go without talking about George Pickens. Like,
I want to talk about that. Put a pin in this, Zach.
He is Michael Gallup on steroids. Like, what we used to see Gallup do with the downfield stuff where Dak could just hit the back of his drop and throw it 50, 60. Pickens is 10 times better than that. And that used to be deadly when you had a number 1 in Amari and CD and Gallup. Like, we're gonna talk about CD a little bit. Like, it didn't even feel like you really needed him, or he didn't have a huge game. Dude, he was 5 for 110. He had 5 for 110. It just, everything felt so effortless on offense. And it's because your run game is really good, your quarterback is really good, and you got those 2 wide receivers.
To put a bow on defense, Zach, a lot of people, a few people in my mentions on Twitter, about like Diggs and the man thing. And I'll tell you this, when it comes to playing man, you need to get home on blitzes. I thought they did a great job of that. I thought they did a good job of pattern matching some of the schemes that Cliff wanted to run, big overs, some of the stuff that, Jaden is very funny in the way that he's good. I said this, and this is just because I'm in DC. I watch so much Commanders football. I know what he wants to do and how he gets out of Dodge. So he's a very good quarterback in the way that he's going to throw the edges from 20 to 20, Zach, and then in the red zone, he's going to throw the middle of the field. But he's not very comfortable throwing the middle of the field from 20 in. Like, he doesn't really like that. And the offense isn't set up for him to do that because there's so much gun and, it's no back to the basket play action. It's none of that. And so, people who just say, we'll just go out and play man, that's also, it has to be tailored to the game plan. I thought that Matt Eberflus did a great job tailoring the game plan. I also want to give Clowney a major shout out. Clowney was really good versus the run, and you're starting to see the pass rush juice. It's like you're starting to see his legs getting under him, Zach. I thought he was good. Bland. I know we're about to talk about offense. Where was that? Where has that been, Zach? Tackling guys?
I was about to say physical. He played a lot more physical than we've seen. And that might just be a symptom of him kind of getting his legs back under him too, like getting more comfortable with the injuries that he's coming back from. And it could be because they took into account what he does well. Like, I mean, they did some different stuff today and, maybe just gave him more confidence. I really got 2023 flashbacks when I with the pick 6, like that just felt like 2023 all over again.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was a lot more physical today, like sticky in coverage. I was really, really impressed with him as well. And then Donovan Ezaraku. Donovan finally.
Yeah, Donovan Ezaraku. They don't want Zach to be great, y'all. Come on, Zach. Come back, Zach. Every time Zach freezes, y'all, we're going to give him crickets. Come on home, Zach.
I know, bro.
There he is. There he is.
It's going to happen. I live out in the woods, people. All right. I'm way out here.
He lives with the crickets.
Yes.
There we go.
But Donovan Ezaraku, like he's at the top of all these charts and pass rush metrics with these young guys, pass rushers, but pretty much the entire league. Like it was only a matter of time. And I think he just gets better every single week. And if you can unlock with Clowney and Ezaraku and James Houston, like you might have something, you might be able to generate some pressure and this defense, take a step up. So
Zach, we'll talk about bringing in another piece because I think that we'll talk about that. Well, I want to stay. It's hard to stay on schedule because at the end of the day, this was a big win. It was an exciting win for me. My fan bag came out today because you live in this area. You couldn't lose to this team and think that you were going to have a chance at the playoffs or able to make a run. Now the whole outlook of the season is going to start to feel different, especially next week where you think Denver's defense is really good, but you saw the Giants move the ball on those guys. and you're not playing an offense anywhere close to the caliber that even with the Commanders losing their receiver, like Zach, you made a great point about those receivers, right? That receiving core, them being out, is more like this year. Okay, for one, just being real with you, Terry hasn't gotten going, Zach. So for everybody who's saying they're out, Terry, or out, they've been out with Terry all year. That's on them. They pay the guy. We can't, like, this is the NFL. So we can't be sad that Terry's not playing. And then number two, with Debo, hey, you took on that contract. You brought him in. This is what it is. And so, hey, man, like Dallas has been there before where they're throwing out Laurent Robinson and, I mean, just name the name. So at the end of the day, we'll talk about possibly bringing in a piece, but I want to talk about this offense, Zach. Started off hot, scored again, but then got cold. So all kudos and respect go to this offense, but I want to be a little messy. And you know, CD's my favorite player. He's probably the best player on the offense. Did you think that the ball should have funneled to Pickens earlier in the game, or do you think it all worked itself out?
I said during the game, I'm like, this team's just not very good at complementary football. Like the defense is getting stops and helping you out, and the offense just cannot get it figured out. Like it just started going away, but it's going to take some time with Lamb just now coming back, I think, for them to really find their groove, because you got to think when Lamb was out there at the beginning of the year, like Pickens was getting 4 targets, 5 maybe, like he wasn't getting a ton of targets. So now with Lamb coming back, obviously from that injury, like to figure out how this offense is going to work with both of those guys, I think it's going to take a little bit of time. And that's what they're kind of trying to figure out. But it really did. It started taking that lull right at the middle of the game. And you're like, okay, offense, got to get back into it. But I think it all worked itself out at the end of the day. Like you put up 44, and that's what I was telling myself at halftime. I'm like, man, the offense really should have scored on this driver. Like they have 27 or something at halftime?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it would like they had 27.
It was 27-15. So
exactly.
The offense was so volatile at a point, right? Like this game when they had the 2 plays where you get the bomb to CD, right? That was a drive right after they went on that field goal drive, and the defense had got another stop. And then they go on a 9-play field goal drive, and you're like, okay, offense, this defense is giving you stops. They're giving you stops. Then Washington went down right before half and went on that 9-play, 58-yard drive. And that was the one where I'm like, okay, you guys just let these dudes, because we know, Zach, and everybody on this chat knows, and shout out to the chat box. We see you guys. We're actually gonna make sure that we get to some questions. Like I said, we're here for a good time and a long time. But we know that this offense has to win games, Zach. They have to. And so there was a lull, but like right before half, I feel like Javonte again, like he is so good at that, bro. Whereas like 35 seconds left. Are you kidding me, Zach? The 8-play drive where they go and take the sack, the timeout, the deep pass to Pickens where he just dumps on Lattimore. We'll talk about that matchup. And then the run with Javonte Williams where you wanted him to score, and then touchdown to Ferguson.
That just shows you how good this offense is. Like 27 in the first half, and you felt like you left some stuff on the field. Like that's just how good they are. They punted twice in the first half, and obviously they had the safety. Safety was a mess. Honestly, shout out to the punter, because that was an insane kick. Like that was on the punter. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then Luke Schoonmaker gets smoked by Daron Payne.
Well, hold on. Why are we blocking him?
Exactly.
Why are we blocking Payne? That's on Shoddy.
It is.
He got spanked.
Yeah. And here's the like that would have been the time to like quarterback sneak it, or flip it out into the flat to Pickens. Like your tight end gets smoked by Daron Payne, and then you get the safety. But this offense can just score at any moment. And like you said, it was kind of volatile. It was like they had an opportunity. What was it? The defense gave them a short field. Oh, it was the 8 plays, 11 yards.
Yeah.
And they had the penalty. Dak fumbled at the with the exchange. But for them to get back on track and end up putting up 44, you take away Bland's 37 points, and you feel like it wasn't like the best day that they could have had. That's insane. Like we are so spoiled offensively, but like have trauma from the defense because they've been so bad. Like we're just like, how do we even feel, you know?
Well, when you think about like coaching coordinators, getting people to buy in, it does take time. I think that we have all forgotten, including myself at times, that we've forgotten, bro. Shotty's been on his staff for 3-4 years, you know, and so he knows the guys, he knows the building. Obviously, he's bringing in his ideas, but he knows how to communicate it. Eberflus has a different communication style, but it did feel like the defense settled in well. Offensively, though, I want to ask you, first of all, do you think that this offense has enough? Well, actually, let's continue to recap the game, Zach. So, because I don't want to get ahead of myself, and I feel like Brandon Aubrey, Zach. Brandon freaking Aubrey. He needs his own segment. We're trying to get to midfield just so we can kick a 60. Seriously?
Yeah, if you can get to the 50, you're in range.
Unreal, bro. Unreal. Who were your guys? This is our guys segment. Chat, who were your guys on offense? I got a few for you, Zach. I feel like the fact that we haven't mentioned Tyler Guyton is enough for me. I think that there's going to be people who could probably do film and find something that he didn't do well, whatever, dude. Like for him to play a lot of snaps, and I didn't feel like there was any real pressure. Yep. He's a guy for me. CD guy, game back. He had 110 yards a half. I think he finished with that because he didn't get many targets in the second half, and he got the penalty. He's a guy. I won't take all of them, Zach. Who are some of your guys on offense?
Of course, George Pickens. I mean,
yeah,
dude, just throw it down. Just throw it down there. Pickens will go get it. Like you said, Tyler Guyton, like, is he Tyron Smith, where you can just be like, yeah, don't worry about him over there at left tackle. You know, we don't talk about Tyron Smith for 17 games because he's so good. No. But the thing is he's getting better, and you can tell every single week he's getting more comfortable. He's becoming a real part of this offensive line. But I got to give it up to the entire offensive line. You could tell having Tyler Smith. I know BB's not quite back yet, but Hoffman and Booker and all the guys kind of back on the offensive line minus BB. Like Javonte averaged 6.1 yards per carry. He had 19 for 116. Like, yeah, it's a well-oiled machine for this Cowboys team on the ground. Like, shout out to the entire offensive line. I need to go back and watch. It did feel like Dak had to get away
a few times.
Pass rush a couple of times. He took the 1 sack for 7 yards. I feel like Dak's gotten so much better at pressure, handling pressure as he's gotten older.
In the pocket.
And he's done really good this year with it too. Like, he's gotten himself out of quite a few. But really, you know, Pickens, dude, if the Cowboys wanted to drop back and throw it to him almost every single time, like, I would take it because he's just he's so much fun to watch.
The big boy route that he had, it was like a bang 8 comeback. It was some crazy route. I'm like, and they moved him to the slot. They moved him to the slot. So like, it's, you know, I see my boy Lou on here. What's up, Lou? One of my best friends. So they moved him to slot. So it's like, when you start to see stuff like that, Zach, it's like, okay, you know, now we playing big boy football. Now they're interchangeable. Now he's not just camping on the edge. And you never saw Mike Gallup in the slot. So those are the things where it's like, Pickens have a day, CD have a day. Guys. It was even cool to see Jaden Blue get in the mix towards the end. Mm-hmm. I still think though, Zach, I don't want to be too high, too low. I still would like to see a runner that can hit it and that can take a little pressure. Because, like, at the end of the day, as much as I love Javonte Williams, I want to see another runner that can run as hard as him. Like, I think there's this world, Zach, where everybody's like, let's have a yin and a yang. I think these gap schemes that we're running, you might need 2 yangs. Like, you might just need, you might need to give Maffa some looks and just keep boom, boom. Because I'm going to tell you something. I didn't really feel like Bill Merritt was physical enough for us today. And you know, like sometimes the Cowboys have struggled with backs that are physical, lean on you. And so I'm kind of like, man, yeah, you know what I mean, Jeff? Like it might be, Jeff, it might be like, bro, let's get another hammer. We don't have to have this world where it's two a yin and a yang, more like it's, bro, two guys, because you can tell that when Javonte runs the ball, the team is turned up. The team.
Hey,
The
you see that
team,
you see that jump cut?
come on, bro.
You see that jump cut?
Come
I was
on.
like, dang, okay, Javonte's feeling it now. He's got a little bit of a wiggle going on. Like he
We
jumped
gotta
cut
get
like
him to
3
score on
quicker
those
than-
long runs, Zach.
Yep. And you know it's he can break off those long runs, but it's a lot of what he does breaking tackles. Like I'm just trying to think, like you're saying, like two guys that can really punish the defense. I do think you need another running back to take the load off of him a little bit. Like over the course of a season, bro, he runs so physical that you really hope it don't lead to him either wearing down or getting hurt. Because if he gets hurt, then you might really be in trouble. But finding another back that you can rely on to take the carries off of him, because I don't think Jaden Blue's there yet. No. I just, you know, he averaged 4 yards a carry, but he just doesn't go as, you know, the game's really sped up for him. But you know, Javonte's just, dude, he's an animal. He really is crazy.
I like the way that Ferguson was used today, Zach. I like some of the play designs. There were a few times where Shotty tried to. He's starting to like those. Hey, I agree, Charles. Let's pause everything, Zach. 38 likes. Come on, y'all. Charles, shout out to you. Let's get the likes up, y'all. On both channels, we're going live from me and Zach's channel. Stop what you're doing. Stop. Everybody, stop. Stop. Get the likes up, y'all. Likes. Come on. Make sure that we can get this sent around the internet. Me and Zach are going to be doing content all week. And make sure we can get this. So, yeah, it's a world where, you know, a lot of people have talked Breece Hall. You know, if I'm the Jets, I'm fire sale at, you know, they're not going to make any type of a run. They benched Justin Fields today. Could Breece Hall be in play? Could, you know, I read Diana Rossini's article, and she said that, you know, GMs think they need to get another running back in here, and I agree with, like, I think that having two runners that can lean on teams, because there were times during this game, because think about how the offense really, this offense really runs best off play action, Zach. It does. Dak is going to get you in the right looks, but Zach, if we can get in great play action deals with now, if you got light boxes, it was so many times this game we had those two safeties camping up high. Okay, we can run the ball. But then if we get heavy boxes and we got play action, we can get Pickens big over, CD big over, Ferguson leak. I just feel like, and if you got two runners now, Zach, coming at you, it's just different, man.
Yeah, it's kind of the blueprint that these teams have gotten into with, we saw the Lions do it with Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, and like these teams, you typically have two guys that they can rely on, kind of not completely split the carries, but another guy. I don't think that would hurt Dallas to look around, and because we're at the point in the season now, like you said with the Jets, like it's pretty much over for them. So you know they're likely going to be a seller at the free agent or in the trade deadline. That names start popping up that kind of make sense. I'm sure we'll talk about the defense if there's like a name worth trading for on that side of the ball, one or two. But yeah, I thought Shotty's comments were really interesting from the press conference. Did you hear what he said about, you know, we've been looking at stuff, other guys, like it was just kind of like a weird way of saying like we've looked, like we're looking for another back because Miles Sanders isn't here. And somebody said it in the
comments. Said this tonight, is that?
No, he said this last week on Thursday. I think he said it on Thursday, but it just kind of like,
bro, they're not sold on Jaden Blue. I'm gonna tell chat that now. Like, get your guys they are not sold on that guy. Love him.
You can kind of tell that they were kind of iffy on putting him in the game anyway, because they kept giving the ball to Javonte even up 44-22. Like they were still trying to, you know, keep him in there as long as possible to run the football. So it'll be interesting if that's a spot they look to upgrade, and what they would end up paying for it.
I think Brees Hall could be a name. He's had some injury deals, but he can hit it, man. He can
Yep.
run away from a defense, and I think people would have to look at it as, at the end of the day, with the weapons that you have on this team, adding another weapon is you want to get to as close as perfect offense as possible. You're
Yep.
already number one in the NFL. You're gonna finish top 10 in the NFL. But there's gonna be times where Dak has a bad game, or you hit a lull, or whatever the case may have you. Maybe Shoddy makes a few boneheaded calls. He had a few today. I just feel like getting another runner where you could just sit on the football, where you could just hit those runs, is something to think about, Zach. I wanted to ask you this, Zach. We can peek ahead now because we did get this win. And I was doing this earlier, and I was looking at the schedule because I was thinking to myself, okay, what is the road to the Cowboys playoff? What is the road to the Cowboys playoffs look like? Like right now, you're 3-3-1, right? And so this game next week, huge, big football game, right? And you're in Denver, or is Denver coming to you? I think we go to Denver.
Yes.
Okay, so we go to Mile High.
Yep.
And then on November 3rd, you have the Cardinals, Monday Night Football. And then the 17th, which is that the bye? I think it's a
bye
long
is
after the Cardinals game. Okay, so in the 17th, you get a bunch of rest, and I've heard that's when overstones come back. So you could really be cooking. The Raiders, the Eagles, who a lot tonight tried to give that up today, tried to give that game away to a Carson Wentz-led Minnesota team. I'm still not sold on that Eagles offense. I just wasn't very impressed. Then you go Chiefs-Lions. Those are the two bangers, right? Chiefs-Lions. Then you go Vikings, winnable. Chargers, winnable. You just beat the brakes off the Commanders. Then the Giants, who are playing Inspire, but what will they be playing for in January? What does this road to the Cowboys squeaking in the playoffs look like? Is this Broncos game now a must-win? Are we talking must-win versus the Broncos?
I think Dallas is in that range where every single week is going to feel that way. Every single week, they're not 5-1 or 6-1 or wherever we're at in the season. Like every week from here on out is going to be a must-win. What I see when I look at this schedule is Dak Prescott's MVP case. Like if they play well, or he plays well, and they win these games with starting about that Eagles, Chiefs, Lions, Vikings, and Chargers, if they can get out of that with a really good record, and Dak is playing extremely well, because I think he's going to give you a chance in every single game. That is Dak Prescott's MVP case to be made. If he wants to win MVP, pull the team to victories in a majority of those games, and you're going to make the playoffs. But it's going to hinge on your offense most likely, and Dak playing extremely well, and the defense being middle of the road.
So
I think it looks good. It's a little creepy though with the Chiefs and Lions. Like the Chiefs, Lions, Vikings, even that's a tough defense. But outside of that, winnable. Very, very winnable.
So I'm glad you said that. Let's talk players and how we get to the playoffs. Do you, Zach, and I said I would save this for the end, and we see the super chats, guys, we'll make sure we get to them. I know you're absolutely right. The DMV is quiet, and Zach living out here it's going to be beautiful going to the grocery store. I may not wash this hoodie all week. They say I'm stinking. I don't care. I don't.
Much better than me in North Carolina the past week. That's for sure. That's for sure. Different story out here.
All right, let me actually, Zach, what we're going to do is let me get a call in from somebody. Give me 1 second. Somebody wants to call in right now, so we'll let him get the floor. Hold on, let me see if I can get him on. Actually, I think there's a way that I can get him on through the. We want to actually get to a world where we can open up the phone lines, guys. Can you still hear me, Zach?
Yep.
And that may be coming soon. Because this is about you guys. All right, let's see if I can get my boy Lou on. Let's see. Can everybody hear that? You guys hear me? Lou, you there? Let's see. Lou, you there? Oh, technical difficulties, y'all. He'll probably call back in. So Zach, what I want to ask you is the road now, personnel wise, to getting to success. Personnel wise, Zach, what are you doing as far as are you going to get a piece? Hold on, let me see. Lou, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. Zach, can you hear Lou?
Yep.
Lou, how you feel? Talk to me. What you think about the game?
I'm great. I'm great. Riding down I-95. You know what I mean right now. Just went in the Wawa where all the Commanders fans was grabbing sandwiches to go home and go to sleep to. You know what I mean? Just left the bar. They sick. We up. We back. You know what I'm saying?
Talk to me, Lou.
For real. All right, so honestly, I told you before the game, right? It was a make or break for both our teams for the season, right? So at least now we know going forward. Well, I got one message for Cowboys fans. Everybody listening right now, because a lot of people listening. I was just in the chat. Everybody tomorrow, if you have $38 tomorrow, I need you to go on DallasCowboys.com and buy a George Pickens jersey, because Jerry will not get rid of Pickens if we buy his.
If we buy his jersey, Lou, we gotta go. We gotta spend money on Pickens.
Without Pickens, like
you don't win this. You don't win these games. I agree.
So I'm gonna be honest with everybody on the fan. I'm a real diehard Cowboys fan. We're not winning the Super Bowl this year, no matter what happens today, right?
Right. But did you see Easy today? Yeah.
Okay. Shamar James isn't that bad. You know what I mean? He isn't like 4 weeks in now, he's starting to find his groove. Okay, cool. You mix in Overshown with that. Bland looked good today for once. Okay, we mix in some new safeties. Marquise Bell looked good today covering in man-to-man coverage. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So you add Ravel in there, you get Josh Butler back, Carson. Hopefully one of those dudes could just give you a year of substance, but like going forward, like we need Pickens on this team to go anywhere in the future.
Yeah.
So, but this season, if we've been talking about this, and every Cowboys fan know this, 3 or 4 stops, that's how every game would have went this year. You get what I mean?
We said that earlier, Zach. Yeah, Zach just said the same. Let me ask you this, Lou. Let me ask you this. We were just talking about, all right, so and you named some good players who played well today. Let me ask you, Zach, Lou, about the road to personnel wise to at least squeaking in the playoffs and making a run. Because you're good with personnel, so what would you do personnel wise as far as, is it going to get Trey Hendrickson? Is it going to get a linebacker? Is it going to get a runner? You are getting over. It sounds like you're getting Overshown after the bye week, Zach. That's what it sounds like.
Yep.
But so what would you do?
I got one. It's one trade Dallas can make that is worth it this year. Two. They come from Miami. I'm gonna get to those at the end. I heard you say DeMario Davis earlier, but if you get Overshown back, the way Maris is playing, I don't want to trade for a position that if we get healthy in that position, it's not going to. You're going to be overfill again. Like, so my big thing is right now, trade Tolbert to Buffalo.
Get Tolbert off. Yeah, go to a spot that needs a receiver.
Trade Tolbert and Diggs to Buffalo.
Get both of them off my team.
They need a wide receiver and a corner right now to be competitive. And you don't fear neither one of them if you somehow make it to play Buffalo in the Super Bowl. Yeah. So I would ship them there, right, and try to figure out how you're going to do this. But I would trade for Devon Achane or Mika Fitzpatrick.
Good names. I haven't thought about those.
The reason why I would trade for Devon Achane is, right, you don't have Javonte Williams on a deal next year. If you get capped out of Javonte Williams, you would have Devon Achane still on rookie deal. If Miami's on full fire sale mode, no coach, you know what I mean, trying to bring in a whole new culture, regime, GM, and everything, you take Devon Achane, you'll have him for like 2 more years under rookie contract.
That's a good one. Yeah, Chad. What do y'all think about Achane? We were all talking about runners before you jumped on.
I know everybody wants defense, right? So my second one was Mika Fitzpatrick.
I'm not mad at Mika.
Like not a DN, because eventually you'll get Nealon back. Because I guess Nealon has been hurt. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't want to put $16 million into Trey Hendrickson on the back year of the season because, like I said at the beginning, we're not winning the Super Bowl this year, no matter what.
Yeah.
So wasting your money that you're trying to roll over to save for Pickens, I want to save that money for Pickens. So I'm going to save every dollar for Pickens right now. Because next year, do y'all want to go in the draft trying to find a wide receiver too, or do y'all want to keep Pickens and CD, who have a clear, good relationship?
No, like, you want to keep those two.
Yeah, you want to keep both of them. And then get Tolbert off the field so Flournoy can actually do something. Like,
yeah, I was going to talk to you about that too, Zach.
Yeah, like, I'm sorry, like, Tolbert, let me tell you something right now. Tolbert's confidence is shot. So the whole story about him thinking he was going to be wide receiver 2 coming into the season, and then Pickens got, 600-something yards and, 6 TDs in 7 weeks. It's like, bro, that's dead for you, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So he's out of it. Mentally, he's out of it. Flournoy's still hungry. He got years left to still be a wide receiver 3 here. Let's get that rolling now. Turpin, we're wasting snaps with him on the outside now. Like, we found something with Flournoy to where, like, I don't want Turpin trying to beat Marshawn Lattimore on the outside. Yeah. Even though you're putting Pickens or CD in the slot, like I told you during the game, I thought this was the worst game Shotty called all year.
It was spots. It was spots that it could have been better.
Like,
we said that.
People are not going to understand what I'm saying, but like, if Washington had healthy receivers, and I'm not even saying that because I don't think Washington is good. Trust me, I live in the area. I don't think they're good. But if they had healthy receivers, when Shotty was playing around, when the defense was giving you stops, when the defense gives you a stop, you have to score. You have to score. And I think Shotty's getting into this thing where he's trying to save the defense by not scoring too fast, but you just can't play that card, like, because that's when the screens come in. You get like off script to me. We're not even on script. Like
a lot of holding today too, Zach. A lot of holding.
Yeah, but when he was getting the stretch zones and getting outside, it was a lot of holding. Yeah, but my thing was you were still getting 11 yards. So why not on 1st and 16 run the ball again?
Nah, yeah, no. Listen, yeah. So Lou, this is what we'll do. Because I want to get some questions on here. But somebody actually just said, somebody just said in the chat, man, if Lou had a YouTube, I would subscribe, man. Lou Sharp, this is my boy. He's one of the sharpest Cowboys fans. He's on here, y'all. Lewis Butler. He was just on here early, but this is one of my best friends. So we talk ball all the time. I get a lot of good ideas from him. So I'm gonna bring you back, Lou, because we about to wrap up the show. But I appreciate you calling in. I think the A-Chain thing is something that I haven't thought about. I may float that around. I haven't thought about A-Chains. I know that Miami's in a fire sale, but I haven't.
You just got to think about it, right? Like, even, and I'm gonna to wrap it up for A-Chain, right? Like,
what's his cap hit, Lou?
Yeah, but if you give like a 4th or something for him, man, it's worth it. And Miami needs everything they can get.
Yeah, they rebuild. They're gonna fire McDaniel. Might get fired tomorrow. So,
and then second thing too, anybody who thinks we're getting Kamara basically said he's going to retire if he gets traded. So just drop that. Like, you know what I mean? Drop that.
You need a runner. You need a runner. All right, Lou.
I'm gonna be honest too, though. Hold on, one more thing too, because I'm sorry too. But Jadon Blue had 2 10-yard carries at the end of the game when he actually got some blocking. Don't give up on him yet.
Don't give up on him. Okay, we'll talk about it.
Don't give up on him yet.
Not yet. All right. I love you, bro. Talk to you later, man.
Be safe, yo.
Yep. It's my boy Lou. Zach, he's sharp dude, man. Super sharp. And like I said, we want to get to a world where we can actually get call-ins. Oh man, thank you guys for these supers. We're gonna get to them. Zach, what do you think about that? What do you think about a runner, the type of runner? I like A-Chain actually. I think so. He actually runs well between the tackles. Not gonna lie to you, he's great between the tackles. What do you think about like A-Chain or somebody else? Like just a runner, bro.
Yeah, A-Chain. I made a video about him earlier this week about potential trade targets. Yeah, because Adam Schefter came out with his list, but I didn't love some of the names that he had on there. But A-Chain is a guy that he's a completely different runner from what you have with Javonte Williams. A completely different runner, and he offers that spark and home run ability. Like, he had a 41-yard run today against the Browns defense. Like, I mean, and he can make things happen. He's not just little, and he can catch the ball out of the backfield. He can run routes. Like, but here's the problem. I think he's going to be pricey. And I think what you're, most people are talking about him as a top 5, top 7 running back in the NFL. And if there's another running back needy team out there now for the Dolphins, that would make a ton of sense. Like, why wouldn't you sell that running back if you're as down bad as you are?
And
And
down bad ain't
like
the
the
word.
running back, by the time the A-chain is, or by the time the Dolphins are good again, like A-chain's not going to have any value whatsoever. So like I could definitely see them moving off of him. I guess the question is, how much would it cost? Because I wouldn't be interested in giving it up anything inside the top 100. Like if you give up a 4, sure, it makes 100. That makes sense. But you give up anything more than a 4 for a runner with some of the holes that you have defensively, personally, defensive tackle with Jeffrey Simmons, even Quinnen Williams, if that was a name that, I don't know if he's been playing as good as he was in the past, that would be a name. I would look defensively. Like, I get that you need a runner, but we know this Cowboys team. We know how they are with their draft picks. Like, they're going to make us choose, right? Or they're going to choose, and they're going to give themselves a choice, like 2 choices. Like, we're either going to trade for a defense, we're going to trade for offense.
Right.
And so, like,
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, Zach. And sorry for my boy. He's long-winded, but he's really smart. I don't mean to have you waiting like that, Zach. We're gonna actually try to find a way to get calls on. We'll figure this out because we want to hear from you guys, especially after these big wins. You know, when you lose, it's like, hey man, 30 minutes, talk about the game. All right, see you later. But big wins, we can ramble, Zach. Zach, let me ask you this: with you now knowing that your defense can do something, not be great. I'm not saying be great, but do something. And you know now that it's looking, arrows are pointing up for DeMarvin Overshown as far as playing and coming back. And I mean, he was moving around, and let's be honest, he was moving around in training camps, Zach. And so now, you know what I mean? So now, Zach, are you still going defense and now, Zach, what position? Because to me, I've said, go get me a 1 tech, but there's literally people who say, go get him a corner, linebacker. So what position is Zach DoubleMove going to get? And we'll close after this, Zach.
Defensive tackle. Like, I'm going to go get a 1 tech. I want to get a run stuffer, somebody to eat blocks up front. I think that would help Kenneth Murray. Dude, you really don't have a legit 1 tech right now. Like you
don't, and it shows.
Kenny Clark is not a 1 tech, not a true 1 tech. You don't have one. And dude, that Panthers game, I beg you guys to go and watch the all 22 from that Panthers game and watch your defensive tackles get moved off the ball. Watch them get moved 5, 7, 10 yards off the ball. Like, I agree. Linebacker, you know, I'm going to pump the brakes a little bit on Overshown. I don't want to spoil the party because I think people are really, and this guy had a catastrophic knee injury. All right. Like, dude, his foot was on the ground and his knee was on the ground as well, but it was going the opposite way of the way that should. Like, he had a very bad injury. I'm not going to 100% rely on him. Demario Davis is just a name because he's a veteran, 1-year deal, half-year rental, probably wouldn't cost you a whole bunch of money because New Orleans is going to be at a fire sale mode too. Like, they might not win another game this year. And Dallas doesn't like to be tied to things long-term unless they chose to be tied to those things. Yeah. So you try to look for these deals. I like Jeffrey Simmons because he's actually tied all the way up to 2028. Like, he's not a free agent until 2028. And dude, he is a staple piece on a team that's not very good, that just fired their head coach. But you know what? I would want to hear from the Cowboys front office. I wish we could give them like a truth serum. What are they thinking trade-wise? Because we've seen this team do both things. One thing a whole lot more with giving up a late-round pick for a guy that maybe isn't a needle mover, like a Jonathan Hankins, right? Mm-hmm. That name came out of nowhere. It didn't really move the needle as far as this defense. Or are we thinking like an Amari Cooper type trade on the defensive side of the ball? Are you really going to consider giving up those one? Because I think that's where we kind of find the middle ground of what are they thinking? Like, who can we even look at? So
that's good stuff. I really want to now sleep on this because I think you'd have to give up a 2 for Jeff. And I think I'd do it. Because those guys age so well, those big pluggers. I mean, what's my guy in Pittsburgh? He's still playing well.
Cameron Hayward.
Hayward, he's what, 35, 36, still just
Bro, he's
sitting
been
in the
in the
middle of
league
that
forever.
defense. Yeah. And so I just think that you haven't drafted it well. You haven't.
Nope.
And so I think I may do it. I know Jermaine Johnson's been a name that's been tied to Dallas, but I kind of like the way the ends play today versus a good defensive end. I mean, versus a good offensive line. The Commanders have a good O line. Now the receivers didn't play, but the O line is good. So,
well, I think the thing with getting a guy like Simmons, I don't think he's just a run, like he just plugs up the run. Like I think he's a pocket pusher too. Like he can move the interior, but that would help your ends. Like if you can flush quarterbacks out, like a lot of quarterbacks can kind of like Jaden Daniels feel and move out of pressure from your ends, like a pass rusher. But if you got a guy that's pushing the middle of the pocket and they can't step up and make throws, and then if they do try to get outside the pocket, your ends are there to clean it up. Like, I think that would help your pass rush more than like going and getting a Jermaine Johnson or even like a Trey Hendrickson. I really don't want this team to be tied to anything long term unless it's like a surefire player.
God. Yeah.
Yeah. Because Hendrickson, as much as I think he's extremely productive, I don't think people realize he's 31, 32. Like
he's older.
He's getting up there in age. And like you said, ends don't age as well as defensive tackles do. Like Cameron Hayward got drafted in 2009. Dude's still playing at a pretty high level for Pittsburgh. So
yeah, and you know, I've heard, you know, the Titans, they're not moving on from Hayward. Guess what? Dallas wasn't moving on from Mike until they did. The right cost, everybody will have a conversation. I'm just here to tell you that. The right cost, the Titans are, and they have to go into a complete 3-year rebuild, 3-4-year rebuild. The only thing the Titans need to be focused on is building a team around and weapons around Cam Ward. That's it. Because that's your investment, and you don't even know if the next coach you bring in, which is for my money, it may be a guy like Mike McCarthy. He's not going to be thinking about the defense. He's going to be making sure that his offense is locked in. So trust me when I tell you, just because they're saying that they wouldn't move on from Jeff Simmons, the right amount of money or the right price, they'll move on from Jeff Simmons. Zach, what a great show. Just a little bit under an hour. We'll let these people watch Sunday Night Football. I know you'll have content banging all week. I know I will as well. I might even do something when I get off of here. But these live streams are good to just get our raw thoughts, you know, just out there. And then I'm going to go listen to the pressure, listen to some more things. But, man, almost 600 people in here with us, bro. Thank you guys, chat. You guys have made this, and the replays have been amazing. You guys have made this really what it is, and we can't thank you guys enough. Let's get to these supers. This should have sealed it for Diggs to leave, cut the cancer. You said it, not me, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not saying he's a cancer.
I hope a team's interested in him at all. Like if Dallas can move him, if a team has interest, I would want Dallas to try to move him. Like whether that's for another player or picks. Just get away from it.
Let's think about it, Zach. You're not gonna re-sign him next year. So move on. Yep. You don't delay it. It's quiet in DC. Washington sucks again. I got my stuff on. Zach, I wish you was out here just to laugh at these guys. $2 from Kung Fu. $2 from Kung Fu. $2 from Kung Fu. $2 from Kung Fu. $2. You get $1. You get. Thank you, Kung Fu channel. We love you, man. Thank you so much for that. I think my last super didn't get charged, so I want to make sure you got it this time. Thank you, Solid Duck. Much love to you. Kung Fu came back with the 20. Thank you, bro. Much love to you, and appreciate the content, Zach and Foots. From Jeff Casario, one of our major mods. Thank you, Jeff. The only thing I'm asking, guys, is on both channels. Can you guys get the likes up? That helps us so much. What a dynamic show, Zach. Man. This is going to be, I cannot wait. I think I'm going to watch the TV copy tonight, Zach. And then I'll, after the TV copy, I'll go ahead and get to the film, get to the all 22. But man, get your rest, bro. We'll talk later this week, I'm sure, for Fansided.
Oh, for sure, dude. Hey, it feels content's so much more fun with a win. You know,
you're not even tired.
Yeah, dude. Last week that was a rough week. All right, guys. Like watching all 11 guys get beat on defense. What are you going to talk about?
You're not even tired, man.
This week.
All right. Much love, guys. You guys have a great week. Make sure you guys are tapping in with Foots and Zach on all channels, on his channel, my channel. Love you all. Peace.
See ya.